All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now headed on to game number 4 of the Vietnam versus Philippines fixtures for this Southeast Asian League. So, so to introduce our player onto the bottom left corner of Ice and Chrome LE, representing Philippines and representing Team EXO, we've got the Orange Terran, exoSkeletor. And now, onto the upper right corner of Ice and Chrome LE, the purple Zerg fighting for Team Vietnam. He's been really active on our Twitch chat, and he suggested a very special song for his intro. So, Mr. Ryu, take it away.
Kokihin ang itayo'y ocho 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 naman ocho 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 ocho.
So, we've got the
All
purple
right.
Zerg, Ocschos.
All right. Thanks for Ochos for allowing us to use that intro
Yeah,
for
thank you
his.
for adding memes to our production value. Huge shout outs to the 120 viewers that is tuned in from all around Southeast Asia. So maraming salamat. And for Vietnam, I don't know how to say thank you, but thank you. You know.
Yeah, not an easy matchup this time
Well,
in Ice and Chrome.
personally, I think exoSkeletor is struggling a bit in terms of TVZ. So we'll see about how Ocho would play this out. But yeah, exoSkeletor also, just to give a brief background to him, one of the veterans on the scene with that 20-year playstyle. I think we're at this point that we can say that everyone in the ExoPH clan is veterans, quote unquote veterans. So, with 20 years of StarCraft under his belt from Brood War, hailing into StarCraft 2, and other Blizzard titles like Hearthstone. So,
Wow.
Ray. Now, Ochos being harassed here by exoSkeletor. Here comes the Reaper. Oh, good plays coming in
Oh,
on from the
clutch.
side of Ocho. Clutch time on saving, and exoSkeletor actually overcommitting his Reaper onto that. So we'll see what would be the build here on both of the players.
Yeah, and speaking of the 20 years of experience from Exoskeletor, you also noted that for our other players from the Philippines earlier. So would you say that in that clan they have a combined more than 200 years experience between them?
Well, I think most of them not 20, like maybe 19 or 18. So not exact 200, but yeah, a lot of players in the Team Philippines have been playing since Brood War. So I don't. We'll see on how it would transition into StarCraft 2. So, but with Team EXO, they have been a really long fixture as a semi-pro team here in the Philippines. A little bit of Ling harassment coming in onto the side of Ochos.
Yeah, taking down that mule.
Yeah, taking that mule, and which is really big. The bunker a little bit late onto the side of exoSkeletor. So huge shout outs to everyone on the chat who is appreciating our production value. We would be seeing you guys again next week, but next week I think I would be playing for Philippines, Laban Pinas. So for the Filipino fans, don't forget to use the official hashtag Laban Pinas and hashtag Laban Starcraft PH. And for Vietnam, huge kudos to you. You're giving the Philippines a really hard time. You've been giving the Southeast Asian League beautiful games for the past weekend. So huge shout outs to you. The Viking already pushing away the scouting potential onto the side of this Overlord. And I think the follow-up here for Ocschos is that he chosen Roaches.
Ah,
He opted to go
so
for Roaches, not the Baneling Nest. So maybe we can see some aggressive mid-game opportunities onto the side of Ochos, and onto the side of the Filipino Terran. exoSkeletor would be opting to go for that bio play. Two more additional barracks being added up after the 1-1-1 build. So
yeah, so as a Zerg player yourself, What would be going through Oschos' mind here right now, do you think, in going for those roaches?
Well, I think Roaches has a really strong early game capabilities. For example, at this time, no siege tank available onto the side of exoskeletor, no liberator too. So I think if exoskeletor manages to die to this roaches, it would be really big since he doesn't have enough to defend. The wall not complete as of yet. So exoskeletor being delayed in terms of macro here. So we'll see what would be the follow-up. Massive supply differential, a little bit of harassment on the mind of exoskeletor, pero no! He sees the Zerg force coming up already here and the Roach Rush coming in from Ocschos, but we have seen a Roach Rush earlier on our tournament, but this one is economically backed up. 3 bases, healthy saturation, and yeah, I think at this point exoskeletor would fall down and would push Philippines into a 3-1 deficit. So yeah,
Yeah, so
in terms of
Vietnam
statistics, I
doing
think
great here so far.
yeah, I think in terms of statistics, Vietnam really is ahead at that point in skill and player level. So a little bit of engagement here, but here comes the follow-up Roaches with Roach Speed already available onto the side of Team Vietnam. Would be pushing away onto the side of Team Philippines, and I think this is GG at this point of the game. But now the siege tank is already available. No high ground vision available onto the side of onto the side of this Vietnamese Zerg stalwart. More Ravagers being morphed in, but a lot of SCVs already falling down onto the side of exoskeletor, and he would just be hammering away onto the second natural of exoskeletor. So now the Ravagers
Yeah,
are
just
making their way.
Oh, yeah, just when exoskeletor thought that Oschos forces were done pushing,
Yeah.
here comes more and more and more and more roaches.